Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, sues Candace Owens. Why? Because some people claim that Emmanuel Macron's spouse, Brigitte Macron, was born a man, according to some. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Let's see what the implications are, if you think that's right, if you think that this is beneath a presidential's office or an individual to do this, if you think that Brigitte Macron's honor was tarnished, therefore, they're going to sue Candace and make her stop talking. If you remember, Donald Trump called personally Candace Owens. I covered that in one of my videos about a week and a half ago or so, when Candace Owens reported that Donald Trump called her and told her to shut up. Why? Because Emmanuel Macron doesn't like it. All right, I have an article here from CBS News, and it is from yesterday, July 23rd, 2025. French President Emmanuel Macron sues right-wing podcaster Candace Owens. And my first question is, CBS News are obviously a left-leaning garbage. And if this would have been, let's say, another president that they don't like, suing an African-American empowered, strong woman as Candace Owens, it would be portrayed as such, like the neo-colonial individual cannot help trying to hurt another perpetual victim, which is Candace Owens, which is part of a group that was enslaved by the Emmanuel Macron's ancestors. So they can't help hurting us. Clear enough? They would switch towards, Candace Owens, which I like, Emmanuel Macron, which I don't like, is the victim. But they don't do that. Why? That tells you how honest they are. If Trump would have done something that they don't like, immediately they will switch it like that. Remember that thing, George Floyd? Remember that? I think that was garbage. I still think it was garbage. The guy died. I'm sorry for him. What got you in the circumstances? You didn't have to die under those circumstances, but what got you in that? Why didn't that get me in the same circumstances? Why don't I get in that kind of circumstances? I can get shot if I go tonight. I can get shot if I go in certain places, but I don't go. Why? Common sense? Or if I ingest certain things. So that's I remember how George Floyd thing was portrayed, and Donald Trump was the evil guy and everybody else with a certain kind of skin color. So we have, unless you were a kneeler and a beggar and a person without personality or did not respect yourself. So what do we have here? We have Emmanuel Macron, a white guy from France, colonial power, suing a African American, a black woman, empowered, strong woman. Isn't that awful? Didn't you have enough all these centuries of oppression? All right, let's read this thing here. Washington, French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, not spouse, wife, that's feminine, Brigitte Macron, filed a defamation lawsuit against right-wing podcast host Candace Owens on Wednesday in response to claims she peddled the France's First Lady was born a man. The 22-count complaint was filed in Delaware Superior Court and seeks an unspecified amount of damage from Owens. Okay, you need money? So let's say she pays money. Can she still talk? Oh, no. She has to shut up, right? Yeah. Who broadcast an 8-part series spreading a host of allegations about the Macrons, including that Brigitte Macron was born a man, stole another person's identity, and transitioned to a woman. And they couldn't find a more feminine picture of Brigitte, which, if she's a man, let's start with this. If everything Candace Owens says is true, maybe with the exception of pedophilia, because she was, I don't know, like 40 something when Emmanuel Macron was her student, was a minor, if I remember correctly. Now, it's debatable because a lot of changes were done. You know what I mean? So, if that's the case, let's say she was 49 and he was, I don't know when the age of consent in France is, but let's say he was 18, an adult already, let's say. I don't give a shit. Honestly, why would I? Let's say Brigitte Macron was born a man. Why do I care? And besides this, why do they care? Aren't they proud of that? I mean, really? Anyway, now if Candace Owens is lying, that's a different story. Do we have laws for lying? Well, obviously these guys filed a what? A defamation complaint right there. We'll find out. We'll find out what happened. But I suspect this will not go anywhere because a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe not even 2 weeks ago, the two women, I think they were French, who broke the news first time when they said that Brigitte Macron is this man and change and so on. They were cleared in France of defamation. So they were also sued by the Macrons. They initially won, the Macrons, and now the court, with the appeal, overturned the decision. So they said, no, that's no defamation for those two, and that's it. I covered it in the video. I think it's a week ago and a half, okay. Week and a half. Okay, so that's the way it is. Now, I don't know why these guys are going towards her when they couldn't win against those two women. But, see, they portray a right-winger. Candace Owens, is a right-winger. She's a right-winger. Can Zelensky be a Nazi? Oh, the right-wingers are not only white people. All right, let's see what else these guys are saying. The Macron said in the lawsuit that Owens rebuffed 3 separate demands for retractions, with the first coming in December. So here they cover for Macron's. Like, we gave Candace 3 strikes and she fucked it up. Basically, that's what they say. Good, the nice Macrons. They try to get to an understanding with Candace. And Candace really did not listen even to the President of the United States of America, who's very much interested in the free speech of another person, in the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? I mean, imagine that you say something about Putin and say, I think Putin has a gymnast girlfriend, has about 5 kids, and everything is secret. And Putin tells Trump, pula mea, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And Trump said, oh my God, Putin, sorry. Hey, Emil, fuck up, man. What is this? What is this? And then Putin sues me because I said that he has a gymnast girlfriend and so on. First, why would he care? He has to fuck something or somebody, right? What's the problem in the first place? If that were true, what's the problem? The same with this. If that is true that she's a man or whatever, what's the problem? The only problem over there is Macron's problem. Emmanuel and Brigitte Bardot. That's all. As I said, if there's other gangs and other things involved, the pedo and so on, that's a different story. That's a different thing. But here, all right, let's move on. So they tried 3 times, man, with the first coming in December and the final sent, that is when they got fed up, July 1st, and continued to push, and I'm quoting, outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fictions. Well, about the French president and first lady. I know what defamation is, right? And I understand that people have to defend their honor publicly if their honor is tarnished publicly, and if the person is a public figure that is negatively affected by the big free speech of another person that proves to be a lie. I understand that, and I'm okay with that. My thing is this. Emmanuel Macron is second term president. He's going to be gone. She is 74, if I remember correctly. Brigitte, she's dying, man. She's dying. Why would you care, man? who to them, to the president of France, what importance Candace Owens has, being from across the Atlantic in a different country, yapping. Let's say they're lies. Why do you care? Oh, because it hurts the feelings? A lot of things hurt my feelings. A lot of things. His face hurts my feelings. His fatness hurts my feelings. His walk, his pitch of the voice. All these things hurt my feelings big time. What should I do? I ignore them. They're beneath me. So I think that the Macron should have just don't give a shit. But hey, they have the right to do that, and they do it. And Candace Owens has the right to say what she believes or what she thinks is right and true. I don't think. I have never. No, I don't know Candace Owens personally, but I listened to her in many, many circumstances, and I have never, that is zero, never heard her say a lie. If she made mistakes, we all make mistakes, but I never heard her saying a lie. Now, why would she be on Brigitte Macron? I don't know. That's her personal thing. But I don't give a shit. Let them be. I mean, you can say, but the other guys are so touched by that. But again, I'm not in their shoes. So let's see what else. These claims are demonstrably false, and Owens knew they were false when she published them, end quote, the lawsuit states. Yet, she published them anyway, and the reason is clear. It is not to pursue the truth, but to pursue the pursuit of fame. I don't think Candace needs that, just so you know. I think she's famous enough instead of just cramping on you. But let me see here. Where is, since this is, right, CBS News, I would like to see Candace's defense, or at least CBS reporting in a balanced way, which you will see what Candace had to say. Or here, insofar, this article is just about the Macrons being upset. All right. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for Owens said, and I'm quoting, Candace Owens is not shutting up. This is a foreign government attacking the First Amendment rights of an American independent journalist. Candace repeatedly requested an interview with Brigitte Macron. Instead of offering a comment, Brigitte is resorting to trying to bully a reporter into submission. In France, politicians can bully journalists. But this is not France, it's America. Well, I think they should figure out if that's true or not first, and probably the courts will determine that, no? The lawsuit takes aim at Owens for promoting unfounded theories. Well, why don't you listen to see what evidence she brought? And spreading misinformation, and said she aims to, quote, inflame and attract attention through sensationalism and conspiracy theories. Why don't you let FBI go to fuck themselves with these two words right here, which came into being after the JFK assassination. That's when, just so you know, this conspiracy theory came into the American lingo, and that is an FBI lingo. You got it? So you know, whenever you hear this, this is invented or promoted by FBI and their media. I said their media, former agents and current agents infiltrated that in, if you remember, the Operation Mockingbird. It alleges that the podcaster published the 8-part series about the Macrons called Becoming Brigitte and released posts on X with reckless disregard for the truth. Okay, man, let's find out. Let's find out. So this could actually be the downfall of the Macrons, because they are going to attack Candace, and Candace will get her guns. The problem is, I personally don't believe in a fair justice system in the United States of America. I do not believe in that. Why? Reasons are multiple. Remember how that judge in Florida signed that warrant to go and inspect Trump's Mar-a-Lago? Do you remember that one? You can say, well, that's just the judge determined that it fits that. Do you remember how Mr. Hunter Biden was, what little slap on his hand he's got? You remember that one? I mean, if we have a justice system, we would have Bannon, and others from the CIA, FBI, Tapper, and others would be in front on the seat right there. Clapper, not Tapper. Clapper, not tapeworm, Clapper. and others should be in, but they're not. They're not. They lied under oath in front of the Senatorial Commission, if you remember. They lied. That's perjury. That's automatically a felony. They were not charged with anything, not convicted of anything. So spare me, you know what I mean? Then I don't have to go to Epstein. He just killed himself, just like that. And now they try to get Maxim, whatever her is, his sidekick, out on a bargain like this. You tell us everything you know, which is, this is the script, and all the charges will be dropped. Well, how about I rob 50 banks, and then you say, Emil, tell us how you did it, and you get to keep the money. I mean, how many years do I need to do in jail? 2 years? That's it? I do 5. Give me a few billions, I do 5 years in jail, in prison. I will have my butt like this probably, but for about a few $1 billion, I will definitely do it. Huh, you won't? I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe this will be even more sensationalism. So the thing is, she wants to be sensational. This is gonna catapult her to more sensationalism. Why? Candace's loyal viewers or friends, or however you want to call people who are watching her show, and they already built a trustworthy or trust relationship, or relationship based on trust. They will not look at it, oh my God, she lied or something. They will find justification. Even, let's say, those guys prove that Candace was wrong and Candace lied and so on. They will say, well, she didn't know. Based on the information she got, she said that. I'm glad that we sorted things out. And that's it. They're going to move on. So I think this is going to be bad for the Macrons, not for Candace. Anyway, I'm for the truth. Let's find out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.